Hello everybody, I'm Joanna. Welcome back to my class. Every country and region in the world has their own customs and etiquettes. It is important to have a basic grasp of them when you go somewhere new. Specifically, if you are heading to the USA for the first time to study, travel, or do business, you are supposed to master some etiquettes. It can help clear up the confusion on how to best represent yourself in America. In this lesson, I'm going to show you 10 etiquettes you need to know. Number 1. Greeting. In America, when meeting someone for the first time, people prefer a firm handshake both for men and for women. Hugs are only exchanged between close friends. Kissing people in greeting is a more intimate affair. It is usually done only in the context of relatives, lovers, and friends. However, some Americans do not shake hands at social events. Instead, they may greet you with a carol "hello" or "how are you" or even just "hi." The only proper answers to the greetings "how do you do," "how are you," or "how are you going" are "fine," "great," or "very well, thank you." This is not a request for information about your well-being. It is simply a pleasantry. Number 2. Addressing. Americans will usually introduce themselves by their first name and last name, such as "Hello, I'm John Smith," or by their first name only, such as "Hi, I'm John." The common response when someone is introduced to you is "pleased to meet you." However, for students, address the college professors by their title and last name, such as Professor Jones, unless they ask you to do otherwise. Women often use a more neutral Miss rather than Miss or Mrs. If you are confused, bear in mind that Americans normally address everyone they meet in a social or business setting by their first name. Number 3. Tipping. There are only a few situations where tipping is expected. The one you will encounter most often is at restaurants. American restaurants do not add a service charge to the bill. Therefore, it is expected that the customer will leave a tip for the server. Common practice is to leave a tip that is equal to 15% of the total bill for acceptable service, and about 20% for superior service. If the service was unusually poor, then you could leave a smaller tip, about 10%. Other professions where tipping is expected include hairdressers, taxi drivers, hotel porters, parking valets, and bartenders. The general rule is to tip approximately 15% of the bill. In situations where there is no bill, such as hotel porters and parking valets, the tip may range from $1 to $5, depending on how good the service was. Number 4. Being punctuating. Americans value punctuality and expect things to be on time. This includes appointments, services, and deliveries. It is best to show up exactly on time for appointments and social functions. In the Northeast and Midwest, people are extremely punctual and view it as a sign of disrespect for someone to be late for a meeting or appointment. In the southern and western states, people may be a little more relaxed, but to be safe, always arrive on time, although you may have to wait a little before your appointment begins. Number 5. Behaving in public places. Americans do not tend to like close contact with others. 2 or 3 feet of personal space during conversations make them comfortable. For most Americans, there is little to no touching during conversations. This may be different between good friends and family. In public, such as in parks or on the bus, people try to give one another space. Number 6. Gesture. A gesture is a form of non-verbal communication. The OK sign and the thumbs up sign mean good or acceptable and are commonly used throughout the country. Whistling at performance events is a sign of appreciation. Waving can indicate both greeting and saying goodbye. Raising the middle finger is seen as highly offensive, avoiding use it, even when pointing to objects or scratching your face. Number 7. Gift giving. Presenting a gift is a thoughtful manner, though it is not expected. If you are invited to an American home, gifts are appreciated. Flowers, a potted plant, or a bottle of wine are good gift choices. If you stay in a U.S. home for a few days, a gift is appropriate. In many cases, the best gifts are those that come from your country. If they are unprepared, you may write a thank you note. Contrary to many Asian countries, gift giving is not a part of U.S. business etiquette. There is no need to take anything with you to an initial business meeting. One more thing you need to know is that gifts for women, such as perfume or clothing, are usually inappropriate. They are considered too personal. Gifts for children are often a thoughtful and appreciated practice, but take into account the values of the parents. Many parents would object to your giving a toy gun or a violent video game to their child. Number 8. Communication style. Americans tend to speak in a direct, informal manner. They are usually polite and friendly. But remember, private personal information, politics, religion, racism, abortion, homosexuality, and criticism of government in your conversation are not recommended. Additionally, Americans tend to offer more generous compliments than Europeans. Use of the words great and awesome sound exaggerated in foreign languages, but are entirely natural in the US. Number 9. Taboos and laws. Race is a sensitive subject throughout the country. To avoid offending anyone, refer to Americans of different ethnicities as such: African American, Italian American, Asian American, etc. Spitting is usually unacceptable in public settings. If you have to spit, it's best to use a tissue and then throw it away. The drinking age is 21 and heavily enforced in America, while the smoking age is 18 in most states, 19 in others. It is readily enforced. Most public spaces are designated non-smoking. Drug laws are strict throughout the country, with penalties ranging from heavy fines to lengthy prison sentences. Number 10. Religion. Religion in the United States is characterized by a diversity of religious beliefs and practices. Various religious faiths have flourished within the United States. About 73% of Americans identify themselves as Christians, according to information gathered by the Gallup, an American research group, in 2016. Good manners can mean the difference between success and failure in many aspects of life. Knowing and exhibiting proper etiquette is essential to any civilization. I'm Joanna. See you next time.